I'm Sophia.
My name is Sam,
I'm Esme.
and this is Mr. England.
Who went to UES, and he was the first class here in 1939. Where did you live as a child?
I was born in Heaton Hospital up on the hill here and lived on Hopkins Street, which is on the other side of the state capitol building, over off of Baldwin Street. And shall I wait for the next question?
Sure.
And how did you get to school? Did you walk to school? Did you ride in a car or a bus?
You've asked one of the most important questions of the afternoon, Sam. In those days, everybody walked to school, and they had school buses for those kids who lived in East Montpelier, way up Town Hill Road and so forth. But the rest of us all walked, winter and summer. I used to joke that walking from the state capitol building and back was uphill both ways, but of course it was only one way. But there were actually very few cars available in those days because most families just had one car, and the father would take it to work. So there was no picking up or dropping off. We just walked. The other thing is we all went home for lunch every day. So around 11:45 we were dismissed, and we had till probably 1 o'clock to walk home, eat lunch, and come back to school. And the exceptions were those who came on the bus from, as I say, the outskirts, and they had lunch in the gymnasium, and there were tables that actually pulled down off the walls. I don't know whether they're still there or not.
Yes.
That they ate on. So it was really quite different.
Yeah.
Well, that answers our next question,
I'll
too.
just do the one after that. How many kids were in your class?
I think there were about 20. And
Oh, it's same as us.
well, let's see. There were actually two sections of kindergarten. Let me just go back to the day the school opened. We were all going to school up here in the brick building on the top of up here on East Main Street. So we were all led down 2 by 2s, and as I was one of the youngest in the kindergarten, we were led in, and there were two sections, and our kindergarten room was bright and beautiful and colorful, and the tiles on the floor for circle with animals and things. But the other room, which I was not in, they had an actual slide in their room. And for the rest of our lives, the group that started out in that room had held it against us that we missed out. So that was my recollection of the first day. Aside from the fact that I had to learn a different way to walk to school, because I no longer walked straight up State Street and up the hill there, had to come up whatever this school street over here.
Did you have desks or tables?
We had, I think we had tables, particularly at the lower grade. Yeah.
And about how many people sat at a table?
Just a few, maybe 3 or 4. They were small or modest-sized tables, and we would sit around it. Desks came at some higher grade. I can't remember which one.
And when you went out to recess, what games did you like to play?
We played a lot of tag, and I remember because she's been a lifelong friend. There was a classmate named Cynthia Berry, who was not only the smartest girl in the class, she was the fastest at running and getting away. Nobody could ever catch her at tag, but we played a lot of tag. There wasn't a lot of equipment, especially the first year when we moved down here. There were monkey bars that you go up and climb and hand over hand go along. And one of those things you jump on and push and make it go round so that you hop on and go round.
Oh, I love those.
We don't even have one of those.
Yeah, well, the kids, in our class, they've been begging the teachers for one of those.
Okay, well,
Yeah, and we're redoing the playground, so.
it was a lot of fun, and we were on it a lot.
Go.
Yeah, and also there was recess. Do you have recess every day?
Yes.
Yeah. For how long?
20 minutes.
Usually about 15 minutes before lunch, and then we eat lunch, and most kids have like 15 minutes or
Okay, that sounds like.
So around like 45 minutes a day.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
half an hour.
That's about what we had.
Did you ever have a grass field here?
I don't remember a grass field. In fact, our whole playground area was in the enclosure on that side, not up here. I think this was added and worked on later. I don't know what it was. I don't remember.
Who was your favorite teacher?
Oh, I had lots of teachers I really liked, and I remember Miss Briggs was my kindergarten teacher. I'm trying to think where Miss Oakes was. I remember one really tough teacher, but I learned fractions really well, and I always was glad in my mind that I had what I thought at the time was a tough teacher, but she really taught us our fractions.
And were there many male teachers?
There were mostly female teachers, mostly women. It wasn't until high school that I remember a male teacher. It doesn't mean there weren't any, but I don't remember any. Yeah.
Pretty much the same here. There's only one male teacher.
Yeah, Mr. McLean.
Yeah.
And like, did you ever have the same teacher for 2 years? Because like here we have like one teacher for 4th and 5th, one teacher for 2nd and 3rd.
No, each year was a different teacher. It wasn't, the only exception was 8th grade, where there were 2 teachers, and one of them taught maybe math and English, and the other taught language and something else. But all the way, at least through 7th grade, we had just one teacher in each year, each class.
Were there specials like art, music, gym, guidance, library, and technology?
There was a lot of emphasis on art and music. I can't remember how many days a week we had art, but I remember all sorts of projects, building a Indian pueblo out of wet newspapers and things. I don't know what it was. And music was very strong. I never had a good enough voice to be very good in the chorus, but I joined the band when I was about sixth grade, I think. A wonderful man named Cliff Mix, who had Mix Music Store, and he organized a band, and we gave concerts, and we were a marching band. We would go to different state functions as a band, and it was a good start for a social life, because you had the trips on the bus with the gals and the guys, and it was fun.
Did you ever have more than one grade in a class?
More than one grade in a class? How do you mean?
Like if there was a class where 1st and 2nd grade.
No, always separate. The same with the teachers and the same. Yeah, we didn't do that.
And which grades were in this building? Which grades were in this building?
It was K through 8, and then we went from here directly to what's the middle school now, over on Main Street, and that was the high school. And we had 4 years there. So kids, I know it's a lot less now, but so maybe trying to reconcile that with telling you earlier there were maybe 50 kids in kindergarten, so somewhere the numbers increased.
Yeah. And what was your favorite part of school?
I don't have any special area. We had gyms several times a week, and had boxing and basketball and gymnastics. One of the interesting things, I don't know whether you still do it or not, but we used to actually take showers after gym class before we go back to our classrooms. And of course, I mean, it was boys one day a week and girls another day a week. But
We don't have to take showers, but I think we got some in the new bathroom downstairs.
oh,
No, there's no showers down
No?
there. I don't think so.
well,
It's just fancy toilets.
Yes.
And fancy walls and stuff.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that ends all our questions.
I want to mention one thing that was very much a part of this experience was when I was in 2nd grade in December, on December 7th, in 1941. Do you have any idea what might have happened in history?
I can't think of it.
Were you studying wars?
Mhm. The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor.
Oh.
And I remember hearing it on the radio, and it was a Sunday morning, and rushing upstairs to tell my mom and dad. But that changed everything because, well, there was gas and food rationing, so that's another reason there weren't many people driving the cars around. We used to collect newspapers and bring them in on little wagons. They would have, once a month for the war effort. There would be blackouts. Everybody had to have all the windows in their houses covered. We had sort of bomb drills where we would all leave the classroom and go and sit in the hallway. Apparently, structurally, the building would be stronger there, and we'd be away from the windows if there was a bomb or something. But there was a period from 1941 through 1945 when there was a big war going on. Lots of kids' fathers were fighting in it. It was a very serious time, and had quite an effect on what was going on here.
Yeah.
Well, I'll mention one other thing I thought of. How much do you think an ice cream cone cost?
10 cents.
10 cents?
5
5
cents.
cents.
No.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
5 cents. You could get a Coke for 5 cents, or a candy bar, or an ice cream cone for 5 cents.
That's
And
so cheap compared
Yeah,
to
now they're like $2.
I
or
know.
something.
And it's still
Cokes are like
$5.
$3.
yeah,
I know.
it still bothers me to pay $2.95 or something for a Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. This has been fun. Good. Kids, I know it's a lot less now, but so maybe trying to reconcile that with telling you earlier there were maybe 50 kids in kindergarten, so somewhere the numbers increased.
Yeah. And what was your favorite part of school?
I don't have any special area. I liked we had gyms several times a week and had boxing and basketball and gymnastics. One of the interesting things, I don't know whether you still do it or not, but we used to actually take showers. You're next to me.
I got it.
This one.
Oh, this one's you.
Same, I got it.
Is this one you and this one?
Nope. Where am I here? Oh, I know. I'm standing up, sort of in the middle, in the back.
Right here?
Nope, that was Rob Pierce, one of my best friends. I was next to Rob, right there.
Who's your best friend? Do you have a best friend in this class?
Yeah, well, it was pretty much Rob. Where is Rob? Oh, here he is over here.
Is that fast girl Cynthia in here?
Yes, she is. Yep.
Oh, Richard.
She's right there. Third one in there, and she's there. Not the dark sweater, but the one next to her. And I think. I think this is she there. But,
Sam, can I see that
but there's
picture?
still
Yep.
there's still a group of us from this class who started in
that
1939
Cynthia?
who get together for lunch a couple times a year.
Is that the fast girl?
No.
Wow, this guy's really tan.
Right there.
Mm-hmm.
You had to see her run to know she could really run fast.
Cool.
Yeah.